Texas's mayor election results are in, and the Democratic candidate Jasmine Crockett was defeated. Jasmine Crockett lost. She will not be Texas's newest mayor. And before I came to you all with my commentary, because you knew it was coming, I was waiting on a particular piece of information to present itself, and now it's here. And now I can tell you all how I really feel. This is what I was waiting for. This right here. This information, the numbers, the statistics, I needed to see it. Because I remember after the 2024 elections that these group of people swearing up and down that they were going to stand alongside Black people. These same racial demographics swearing up and down that they now understood the grave error that they made when they voted for this man who now has America at war with Iran into office. I remember the performative bracelets, the blue bracelets, right? All of those fake little protests that died out really early. Them swearing that they were no longer going to vote against the interests of human in favor of their own. Yet, overwhelmingly, they voted for the Republican candidate.
Now, there was a bunch of errors that the young lady said in the opening, but I think you get the point. One of the errors that she said was the mayoral race. This was for a Senate seat in the state of Texas. And they decided, the voters in the Senate race in Texas decided to go with Tallarico instead of Jasmine Crockett. I've heard Tallarico, and I can understand that, people like his brand of speaking in politics. I think that they also feel like America at this point may not have been ready for one Jasmine Crockett because it wasn't ready for Kamala Harris. And even now, if you put them two on the ballot together, Kamala and Trump, I am not completely certain that she would still win. They would still put Trump back in office. It's pretty sad to say. The thing that I believe that this young lady was trying to get across, though, is that you have a bunch of people who said that they saw the light. Why is it that Black people won't speak to us? And why is it that Black people won't join our protests? And why is it that Black people won't stand up against this? Even though they know all of the reasons why, they still want us, Black bodies, to come to the front and to do what it is that they're too coward to do. And when we tell you that, hey, this is the right move, 93% of Black people voted in favor of one Jasmine Crockett. Now, I'm going to tell you personally how I feel about this because I haven't made any videos about this, and this is my opportunity to talk about it. I like James Tallarico's thoughts on how we should treat each other. And in some instances, considering that who he's going up against in the Senate election, he may have been the best person to defeat and finally get that Republican stronghold in Texas taken down. She may not have been the best or electable because people still are in their racism, even now more than ever. However, when I look at the numbers and I see that Hispanics overwhelmingly voted for Tallarico, when I see that Asian people overwhelmingly voted for Tallarico, those two right there, those are disturbing numbers to me. It's disturbing because the solidarity you want us to have with you, it's impossible for us to do it when time and time again, you other demographics think about yourself. You all think about what you're doing for you and your families. You don't care about any type of fucking solidarity. And so when we had sympathy for your children and your women and your families being torn apart and put in fucking cages, and our voices screaming louder than anybody else's on your behalf, you've shown time and time again that you really don't give a shit. Even though there is a history that is being lied to us about the workings at times between Black people and Hispanic people and Latin people. But you all have your own brand of racism. That has nothing to do with us. Jasmine Crockett was more than a capable person of being the senator of the state of Texas. And the reason why she is more capable than James Tallarico is the fact that she has experience in Washington. And everything that she's shown you about her time being in Washington is that she is a fighter. She is one of the people that has fought for you. Even if you don't live in the state of Texas, She has put people to task. She has put them to the woodshed. Now, has she misspoken? Yes, but every politician is going to misspeak at some time. But nothing she said should overwrite what she has done. The countless times that she spoke on behalf of you and I, even though we may not be her direct constituents, she has always taken these people to the woodshed. This is more than just about who is better. This right now is about a time of having people who understand what's going on, but are willing to fight. Now, she also misspoke and said that Jasmine Crockett going against the Republican candidate. James Tallarico is not a Republican. He was going as a Democrat. However, it still doesn't change the fact that you can't expect black people going forward to trust anything you all say, especially when I come across other clips right after the election that sound like what you're about to hear.
When you hear people say there's a literacy crisis, this is what they mean.
No. What do you mean? Jasmine not going to Congress for Texas? Oh, Crockett, a girl can only dream. Listen, Jasmine, what was that one quote that you said? Let me think. Oh yeah, we done picking cotton. You can't pay us enough to go find a plantation. Yeah, you remember that? I remember that. How could I forget? See, 6.5 million Hispanic voters in Texas, which is like the majority of the electoral vote here in the state. And you mean to tell me that you think that we're still picking cotton? Hell no, girl. Hell, and that's why you lost.
A literacy crisis literally means that people are illiterate. And that doesn't mean that they can't read, so they make some meaning. But it's very surface level. The higher order thinking skills that are needed for critical thinking, making inferences, drawing conclusions, they don't have them. This lady actually thought, and she's not an anomaly, that when Jasmine Crockett said, "We're not picking cotton no more," that she was talking about the Latinx population picking cotton. If you are illiterate, you took that statement very literal. Trump and the rest of his regime won this election because people were illiterate. And they are making doubly sure that folks stay that way.
That's exactly right. The reason why they're shedding the Department of Education, the reason why they're pushing more religion, the reason why they even over in It's Not Real, them having a bunch of pastors coming over. If you don't believe me, go look it up yourself. A bunch of pastors from the country went over to It's Not Real. You had a 50-state initiative of leadership from all the states going to It's Not Real because they are looking to be able to control us, to basically put us enslave the United States through AI, enslave us through artificial intelligence, through a digital currency. So when Jasmine Crockett talked about not going back to the fields, it had nothing to do with you goddamn Hispanic voters. It had everything to do with what Donald Trump said about us black people, about black jobs, about people taking black jobs. First of all, it was an insult to the fact of how far that we've tried to come, even despite everything they've done to us. And you all know in the Hispanic community what's been done to us, yet you turn a blind eye to it. Even though you're going through some of it right now, you all still voted in the majority against Jasmine Crockett, taking her words out of context. So if you thought ICE going door to door was the end of this shit, if we don't get out of this, it's going to get a lot worse for all of us. And at that point, we have no fucking allies right now. I mean, convince me otherwise. Convince me where the allies are at right now for black people. It's always been us. This is the last thing I'm going to say. You may have noticed that when shit goes wrong, you see these funny videos that come online where there'll be a black person standing in a spot, and then as a prank, you'll see another black person run by. And what does the black person that was standing there doing nothing do? As soon as they see a black person run by, they take off too. They don't ask no questions, they run. And why is it that you can watch this over and over. And when a black person sees another black person running, they run too. Why do you think that is? It's because it's a defense mechanism. We know that ain't no black person running like their hair is on fire unless some shit is going down. You can see this in the animal kingdom. When one gazelle runs, they all run. When one, buffalo runs, they all run. Because that's how they stayed safe. We, as black people, have experienced some of the worst terrors known to man. Anybody who's trying to downplay what slavery was and is are part of the problem. They're the ones that want to keep things the way they are. So when I tell you, after years of passing down our DNA and our spirit to our children, that's the reason why if one of us runs, we all run. And so when I look at these numbers and I see that, hey, we were in unison again. This is black people saying we're running. We're running together at the same time because we see the dangers. Now, James Tallarico might be a good guy, but would it surprise any of us later on if he decided to switch parties like John Fetterman did? Would it surprise you if he switched parties on us right when we needed it the most? Would that shock you? Latin people, Hispanic people, would it shock you? We're not saying this guy is evil, and maybe he's all that he's cracked up to be. But if he switched sides and switched parties, it wouldn't shock me. He's being too inclusive at times. When you see us run, if you know what's good for you, you'll realize we're not running just to be running away from some shit. We're running is because that's how we have survived despite everything that they've done to us. We move in unison, whether we are fighting with each other or not. Instinctively, we know when there's trouble. And everything that we've said about this country, what it is and what it's done to us, we've been spot on. And if you know what's good for you, you'll fucking run too. Stay vigilant, stay engaged, stay revolutionary.